Well, we have some, as I suggested, some experience really at each spot. We're counting on some guys in different roles this year. I guess the experienced guys that we have that we're really excited about are at the midfield, both Brett Parker and Chris Menard. At goalie, Nick Baxter came in about a third of the way through the season last year and solidified himself as our starter and has been real sharp. On defense, Slay Suda missed most of last year with an injury, and he's back. He's a pretty special player. At attack, we're pretty young and different there. We lost three starters that had played there for several years, but Tyler Llewellyn was a freshman for us, played both at midfield and attack last year, and ended up, I believe, our second leading scorer, and he's back as a sophomore now at attack. Some much-deserved attention to Mike Smith, who's a senior long stick for us, who we played last year at close defense because of some injuries, and looking to move him back to the middle of the field this year. And also Ace Suda, Slay's brother, is a defensive midi with a lot of experience.
Our top returners on offense, Michael Bossity, who had a great year last year, a great couple of years for us, has started since the first day he stepped on campus, an excellent finisher. Last year he developed into an excellent feeder as well, so he's really stepped up his game between finishing the ball, feeding. He's dodging a lot better as well. But we're really expecting big things from him, along with Will Ballantyne, who came on like gangbusters last year for us. Really was a huge part of our success down the stretch. Had some really big games, and we're looking for him to really continue to develop and help run our offense. Those two guys at the attack, they're going to be really a huge key to our success. With them, we have a slew of other attackmen that are fighting, clawing, and scratching to get to be that third guy. John Barney being one of them, who's played done a phenomenal job, along with Sean Rogers, a freshman, and Michael Rama, a sophomore, playing quite a bit for us last year. And he's somebody this year that's he's going to be in the lineup, and he's going to be playing some attack, and whether he's a third guy, second guy, fourth guy, that's yet to be determined. But he's one that really brings a lot of IQ to our team as well, and has really had a great fall and certainly preseason. At the midfield, Phil Gamble, Chad was one of the ones that you just spoke with, but Chad and Phil are really just throwback middies. They're strong between the lines. They can play defense, dig up ground balls. They really help generate a lot of transition for our team. I'm really excited about them, and I thought they came on a significant amount last year offensively, so I'm expecting huge things from them this year. With them would be Ben Ross, who also is a great finisher, can shoot the ball from the outside. It's just a real veteran at the midfield. Tommy Wink, quick, shifty midi, saw significant time last year. He's another one that's going to be in that mix, along with a bunch of freshmen that are fighting, clawing, and scratching to be on that second midfield. On defense, we have Connor Malillo, who will anchor our defense. He's been a couple-year starter now for us, is tough as nails, is great between the lines, is really a physical defenseman. And he's going to be a key role for helping solidify our D at that end of the field. With him will be Nick Zenobio, Anthony Doherty, Nick Wells, and a couple freshmen fighting to be that second and third guy right now. So Connor Malillo will be the one that returns and anchoring down our defense. In the cage, we have a lot of depth, and we got a couple freshmen, a sophomore, a couple seniors. Right now, garnering that starting role is probably Tim Matesic, who's a senior. He's got a lot more experience than some of the other guys. Didn't play a significant amount yet. We lost four-year starter Cam Setian, who I think was a four-year starter, phenomenal goalie, on and off the field leader, just did a tremendous job for us. So I think that'll be really important to see how our goalie position develops, but we have a lot of depth there as well. One of the strengths of our team, and I didn't mention yet, would be our defensive midfield. Long stick midi, Wes Rudy, who I think is a 2-year starter now. Will be starting again this year. It's just a really good athlete between the lines, hounds you all over the field, impressive on ground balls and in transition, along with Sean Brown, who's a short stick D midi who played a lot last year, wings on face off. It will be tough between the lines, and Billy Schwartz is another one, a veteran coming back that's going to see significant time.
I would say our biggest returns would be Robbie Maddox, who was a first-team All-League player and he was an honorable mention All-American 2 years in a row. He's our best attackman, shoots the ball incredibly great. He is a great captain, great leader. Bijan, who you talked to earlier, Bijan Farazan, is also a returning first team and also an honorable mention All-American last year, a very, very good player. So those two guys on the offense are really going to do a super job for us for sure. Though we have guys like Jimmy Morris and Jamison Smith at the midfield that are going to do a great job. Sean Fume, a sophomore lefty attackman, and Brendan Morris and a freshman named Austin Schoenfeld is playing really good at attack. So I like the way all those kids look. And there's another, Paul Warner, is playing very well at the midfield. So I really feel we may have some depth there, and so far so good. So defensively, Jeff Davis is coming back as a really good up-hole, and we're really excited about the way he's playing. Chris Palladino is our long stick D mini, one of them who's doing really well, came back in good shape. We have a freshman named Dash Mendel from California that we're really excited about. Billy McAvoy is coming back also, and he looks good so far at the defense. We have some senior D middies, Andrew Toner and Nick Elabrandy and Jack Harvizinski. All those kids came back in shape, are strong, and are ready to go. So I'm excited about that. We have a real fight at the goalie spot, and I'm not sure. There's a freshman, Timmy Brady, who looks really well. There's a transfer, Ryan Goodell, who came to us from Colorado College, and I like the way he's playing. Jake Adoni is a good player too, a junior goalie who looks good. And then there's a Thomas McBride is a sophomore goalie who's also battling. So those four kids are all battling for that spot, And then at the face-off, Kyle Hewitt is picking up where he left off. He had a really good year as a freshman, and he's doing very well to face-off. And there's a freshman named Jeff Fulgione who's getting a little bit of a run for his money, but right now Kyle looks to be the man.
Big thing for this year is we're getting a lot of guys back from the injuries we had last year. On offense, we're really looking to, on the attack line especially, Jack Bodine and Brandon Balsalari are two attackmen who were injured last year, and looking for big things from them, both seniors. In the midfield, Joff Geppert and Alejandro Vega are our senior midfielders, both of whom were also injured last year and looking to go out on a strong note. And then on the defensive line, we have Will Weisberg and Andrew Fenaroli returning. They were really the cogs of our defense last year, and we expect big things from them, with Victor Njai as well contributing. He's starting to get healthy for actually the first time in his career. So. And they'll be a great unit, and they'll be in front of, we have a goalie competition right now. Eric Caliendo has been a two-time starter for us, both his freshman and sophomore years. So he certainly has earned that the last 2 years. Aiden Snyder's our sophomore, and he's given him a real strong run for his money this year. So we'll see. It's good to have competition at every position, and that's what we want to see.
Well, we're fortunate to be in a situation that we have a lot of returners at every position. And we only graduated 2 guys from our program last year. So we start with the attackmen, and we return all 3 of our starters, that guys that started the majority of the games last year, Pat Serio, Pat Bivens, and Tim McNichols. And I think they've all gotten better. And thus far, I mean, they're battling with some younger guys that we like a lot that are going to get some minutes for us as well. But I think the level of play at that position has definitely increased, and I think each 3 of those guys have increased their games. So we're looking forward to them, having a quality season. And they put up some pretty good numbers last year on a team that honestly really didn't score. We didn't score that many goals. So our goal is to score more, obviously, this spring, but we anticipate that those 3 will be a big part of that for us. So midfield is similar. We return the majority of the guys that put in the work for us at the offensive position, Sean Brett, Jason Lawrence, Matt Dupra, Troy Becker, Zach Monzo, amongst a couple other guys that were injured last year and a couple new guys that'll be rotating in there. So we feel pretty good about that too. Really felt like Sean last spring came into his own towards the end of the season and has continued to expand upon his game this past fall and into the spring this year. And Jason's 1 year removed from being all conference as a freshman and having a very successful season, and continuing hopefully that upward trend as well. So and those other guys can play at a high level too. So we're excited about that as well. Defensively, we had some pieces we moved around last year throughout the spring. Alex Shunk played a lot of pole for us last year, but he's really a close guy by trade, and we feel a little bit more comfortable moving him back down to his natural position this year and moving some pieces up. So, I think right now we feel very comfortable with our top 5 defensemen. All 5 of them can play at a high level, and they've all started games for us in the past. And with those 5, I'm talking about Alex Shunk, Drew Cortez, Zach Pitzer, Will Kropp, and Alex Hanna. So we're very excited about where we are defensively right now. We have some quality depth at the position as well. Goalie play, we graduated a guy who started on and off for 4 years and had a nice career for us. And so one of our sophomores last year, who's now a junior, Eric Ritchie, he earned some games last year as a starter for us as a sophomore and did a nice job, and actually won a couple of those conference games, which are big games for us. So we're confident with him in the goal, and we're also confident with Corey Schaefer, who's now a classmate of Eric's as a junior. And it's an open competition. So we have 2 other goalkeepers on the roster, and both of which will be in that competition as well. And the next couple of weeks will kind of dictate how that position plays out for us.
Yeah, well, we've got, I think, a neat makeup. We've got a great senior group, and I think offensively the primary guys for us are going to be mostly seniors. So that's exciting because they've got really good experience, and a couple of those guys are going to follow me up here. But Jason Mertz, as an attackman, has played a lot for us the last couple of years, is back. Michael Heenan's a senior midfielder from Manhasset High School. Pat Farrell's a senior midfielder who started for us last year. Austin Ackner is a senior midfielder who played a lot for us last year. And John Thomas is another Long Island guy. He's last year was one of the guys who missed the whole year after having a great sophomore year for us in the midfield. So we're excited about him. And then John Hetzel is another returning starter who also missed all of last year with injury. He's going to be an attackman. So that group of guys on offense we're excited about. Again, all seniors there. And then defensively, I think is probably our strongest position now. Nick Farmer's a senior from Boston. Jay-Sean DeSena started all year. Both Nick and Jay-Sean pretty much started all year last year. Jay-Sean's a junior. And then Matt Parker played some last year as a freshman, as a sophomore. He's looked very strong. Tommy Kellerman's a sophomore who started down low last year for the whole season as a freshman. He's looked very good. And then our goalie situation, we've got a senior and a junior that are competing for the spot. The senior is the returning starter. The junior was abroad this fall, so during fall practices we didn't have the same kind of competition in the goal. But again, I think if you look at all those guys together, offense, defense, attackmen, midfielders, we've got a lot of experience there, which we're excited about.
Right. On the attack, we're lucky we have 3 senior attackmen. Grayson Rose is returning from surgery. He'll be back soon. He's been a pretty important player for our extra man offense unit. The 2 other seniors, Andrew Prizer and Ian Lukashevitz, both of them have been leading scorers for us for several years, and have different roles. Andrew carries the ball a little bit more, is more of an assist, a setup guy, where Ian is working off the ball and sort of puts himself in a great position to score and do some things, sort of behind the scenes a little bit. Midfield-wise, Chris Thompson is a senior captain there, played as a starter last year, and has once again been a great leader for us on and off the field. So we're expecting him to be one of our better players, and again a great team leader for us. Defensively, we've got Daryl Hunter, is another another multiple-year starter. He's a team captain. Just somebody that you put against pretty much anybody on the other team's opposing attack, and does a real nice job there. And then Justin Cosentino is a senior, played as a reserve behind Gelly Carabasis the last couple years as a long pole midfielder. He's going to move to close. Has worked very hard as anybody we've ever had in terms of the off season, and now has put himself in a spot where he's pushing for playing time. In goal, we have one senior, Calvin Rainey, walked the one a few years ago, has turned himself into an excellent goalie, so he's in the mix for getting a lot of playing time there as well.
At attack, we've got two seniors who've started for 4 years, and Mark Stratton and Steve Smurl. A lot of experience between them. At the midfield, we've got Jake Weber and Mike Neal, and also Ian Moore coming back from his ACL injury last year. All three, again, have started pretty much since their freshman year. And then on defense, we've got Ryan Reidinger and Cody DeFever, two seniors who, again, have started for 4 years. Tons of experience. At long stick midi, Kevin Kohout, who also plays football, and Adebayo Adeyemo, who's also a senior at the long stick midi position. So, and with Brian Neff coming back, he'll be a junior this year. It's just a lot of experience, way more experience than we've ever had since I've been here. And, it's exciting. It's a great group, a fun group to be around for sure. Too.
I think, from a returning standpoint, the midfield is where we're going to have the most experience. With Grant Hughes coming back and Sid Looney coming back, Luke Birnbaum, all guys that got significant playing time and are now juniors and seniors for us. So I'm excited, about that. At the defensive end, Dan Pizzello, was a starter last year, very good defenseman, one of our captains this year. I mean, he's going to take over the reins that Casey McKnight held last year as a senior. At attack, excited to have Stephen Luck, as a senior there to kind of hold everything down. Sam Birnbaum has been playing very well at the attack spot, also another senior. We moved Adam Smith from midfield to attack. So we're young in some places, but we're also old in other places. And then, of course, Face-Off X with Michael Trapp coming back, one of the better guys in the country. We're definitely excited about that. And I think the biggest question mark is in cage. We graduated Teddy DeSalvo, who, again, WAC is known, I think, throughout the years of having very good goalies, and Teddy added that legacy. So the big question mark is who's going to step up in cage. And while we have a very good freshman, it's going to come down to our sophomore, Jackson Zerley, or our senior, Andrew Ballin, and we're going to sort that out over the next couple of weeks. But all in all, I'm excited where we're at right now.